people, let your girl Adeola. So Nigerian president wants another $15 billion, not naira, we're talking about dollars, unless the news agency of Nigeria is lying to us, to complete the Port Harcourt Maiduguri rail project. Is this coming from China? You don't know. That's what we say. Port Harcourt to Maiduguri, how many kilometers? 1,375. Remember Kenya Street? That's one that they spent $3.2 billion on the train and the train stations. Father, the train stations that look better than our own international airport. How many kilometers was that in Kenya? 472 kilometers. So if we want to do like Kenya, we should spend about 3 times of what Kenya spent, and that would be $9.6 billion. But let's not forget that Buhari said this is to complete the project, which means they have already started. So where is the extra $5.4 billion going to? And how much did Ogadio not spend during his time? $12 billion. Have we paid it back? Of course not. I've showed you guys the trains that they built in Kenya, the train stations that they constructed that look better, way better than all the international airports that we have in Nigeria. And they built all of this with $3.2 billion. How about, I'm not against development. I'm not an enemy of progress, before you start shouting. But why? Why is it that when it comes to Nigerian projects, this is what we get and we spend more money than other countries? How about, look at the train stations that we have for $12 billion. Do you see what I'm seeing? Because what I'm seeing is starting to look like seesaw. Why are we now borrowing another $15 billion? This is how they will be diverting money for campaign. Now, I may be wrong because, well, human beings. This is why we say that we need our officials to be accountable before even announcing the approval of another $15 billion. Explain to people the breakdown of the $12 billion that Donald borrowed before he left, as well as the breakdown of this $15 billion that you are asking for. Because in case you don't know, some of us are keeping record. We are keeping record because we are not stupid. But again, you guys are doing anything. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Thank God that 104 of the Dapchi girls that were kidnapped have been returned. They were returned by Boko Haram themselves. I'm so happy, I'm so excited that these girls are back. But this is crazy, the fact that terrorists can just come and take more than 100 girls and then bring them back. The fact that they're able to move freely, I think that's messed up. And you would think the government will now follow them to find out their hideouts after dropping off the girls. I don't think any of that happened. In fact, we saw the video of where they came to drop these girls. People were hailing them. It's not as if they came in at night or something. They came in early in the morning. People saw them. They had their flag. I don't understand how they were able to travel to Dapchi, that no police stopped them, no soldiers stopped them. By the way, the Nigerian government told us that they didn't exchange money for the girls, which made no sense because I don't think terrorists will just of their own bring the girls back. Meanwhile, Sahara reporters said that they paid about 5 million euros. Anyway, I'm so happy that these girls were returned. However, let's not forget that 5 of them died on the road. So I can't imagine what the family members of those 5 are going through right now. And also, there's still one that they refused to release. Apparently, she's a Christian, the only Christian, and they said she had to convert to Islam before they would release her, and she did not.
One of the girls was held back on religious ground. She's a Christian and refused to denounce her religion.
Can you imagine what her family is going through?
This woman's daughter is said to have been the only one still in captivity because she refused to accept the terms of converting to the religion of the terrorists. A story that has put her sister in coma and their mother in confusion.
Yeah, that is heartbreaking. So I really hope that the Nigerian government will not forget about this girl because her life is equally as important.
We still have one more student of Dapchi that has not been returned home. We still have about 112 of Chibok girls that have not been returned.
So we have to keep putting pressure on the government for these other girls as well. So congratulations once again to those that were released. Should we continue with this cycle of paying millions of dollars, which is indirectly empowering Boko Haram to do more havoc? I want to know what you guys think. You guys not know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. So the International Women's Month is almost over, but before it is over, we have to talk about Professor Wangari Maathai of Kenya. Shout out to my Kenyan people. This woman passed away in 2011, but she's still inspiring millions of people around the world. She is the daughter of a farmer who got full scholarship at the age of 20 to study in the US, where she got her bachelor's and her master's in biology, focusing on the importance of preserving the environment, trees, as well as the species, and of course the water bodies. She also focused on how deforestation leads to to erosion, loss of land, famine, and how it affects the air that we breathe in. So Professor Maathai became the first woman in East as well as Central Africa to obtain a PhD, and of course the first female professor at the University of Nairobi in Kenya. This woman spearheaded the campaign to plant trees in Kenya. She founded the Green Belt movement and she dedicated her whole life to planting trees. Her organization has planted more than 51 million trees in Kenya, by the way. 51 million! So next time that you visit Kenya and you see how beautiful and green it is, please remember our mama, Wangari Maathai.
Many rural women complain about the fact that they did not have firewood, that they were losing a lot of their topsoil. They were also complaining that they did not have enough water. Why not plant trees? I asked the women. Let's plant trees.
For you to understand how precious this is, please watch my show on the effect of deforestation in Africa. But this woman was way ahead of her time, and by that I mean a lot of male politicians in Kenya, they were not opened. They could not get past the fact that she's a woman. They just were not used to women standing up to them.
From the day she started the Green Belt movement in 1977, the government saw her and saw a future leader. And hence the government put a program how to fight this person.
So they tried to keep her down. But not only was she vocal about preserving the environment in Kenya, she was also empowering communities, as well as women and young girls, especially in rural areas of Kenya.
Now I have courage to say anything.
She was speaking out against the dictator in Kenya at that time. I'm talking about President Daniel Arap Moi, who refused to step down for 24 years. This woman was speaking up.
The system said, how dare you? What do you think you are? A woman to answer a man?
But it wasn't just politicians that had issues with this woman. Her husband also had issues with her. He divorced her after 3 children, saying that she was too educated, too strong-minded for a woman, and that he was unable to control her. I was like, ooh, father, I don't understand. Why do some men have a need to control another human being? And I don't, somebody that you are doing with every day. You want to control that person? How about everyone? As in, why can't you just work together with this other human being? You want an educated woman, but you want to keep her in the kitchen? The devil is a liar. Anyway, the husband also accused her of adultery, which she denied. By the way, the man had left her and her children for like 2 years before coming back and accusing her of adultery and filing for divorce. At that time, you have to go to court for divorce.
I represented her. Here was a man, her husband, who chose to make the allegation of adultery, and there wasn't any evidence. It's something that pained her a lot because it was just fabricated, and the judge was obviously given money.
She pleaded not guilty, so they jailed her because after the court hearing, she told reporters that the judge was either incompetent or corrupt. Can you believe that the judge arrested her for that and sentenced her to 6 months in prison? 6 months! Luckily for her, she was able to get out of prison after 3 days.
I have always wanted a family. I wanted a husband. That's why I married. But sometimes it doesn't work. And it doesn't even work if you could subdue those talents. You could subdue yourself.
When government decided to build a complex at Uhuru Park, this woman wrote several letters. She led several protests so that the park would be preserved.
President Moi wanted to take Uhuru Park and build a 62-story skyscraper and a 4-story statue of himself.
And this got international attention, and that company had to withdraw from that project. So she was able to stop them, but of course they harassed her for the protests.
It was at that point that people felt that if one little woman can stop that building, surely this government can be changed.
That also was the turning point in this country, that no matter how small, no matter what you are, you can make a difference.
There were so many times that this woman was not only arrested, but she was beaten up, and then she landed at the hospital.
If you're going to shed blood because of our land, we will.
And the whole time that the Kenyan government was arresting her and beating her, can you believe that this woman was being celebrated in different parts of the world for all the work that she was doing? She was getting international awards like the Times 100 Most Influential People, the Golden Environmental Prize, the Edinburgh Medal for Outstanding Contribution to Humanity. In fact, this woman became the first African woman to receive the Nobel Peace Prize. And that was for her contribution to sustainable development as well as democracy Democracy and Peace, she got more than 50 international awards. So she was being celebrated abroad, yet she was being arrested in her own country. And you know, she could have stayed in another country, but she did not. She did not. She was brave.
I remember friends walking across the street so that we would not meet because they did not want to be associated.
She met a lot of great people like the UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, as well as Obama and his wife. They even planted trees together when Obama visited Kenya. She also met Oprah, and you know, Oprah celebrated her even after she died. And she received an award with Al Gore. CNN did a 3-minute piece on her, by the way, a long time ago. And do you know that when this documentary aired in Kenya, they cut out the part where she was featured? Can you imagine? The president at that time called her all sorts of names.
Na mama moja anajitokeza na kwa desturi mama kwa Kiafrika lazima kuheshimu wanaume.
He called her a mad woman. He called her crazy. He also said that she was a threat. In fact, he made fun of her being a divorcee.
Parliament, for some reason, they decided to get involved. They stopped parliamentary proceedings to discuss me. They had even said that I'm a divorced woman, so what can a divorcee tell anybody?
As if once you are divorced, you are no longer a human being and should not have a say in what is going on in society. That is not right.
I said that I want to engage them, but I want to engage their anatomy above the neck. I wasn't interested with whatever lies below the waist.
But you know, she kept going. That is what I love about this woman. She did not give up. And she later got in politics during Kibaki's time. They made her Assistant Minister of Environment. You know, everyone was like, no one has done more for the environment. Why was she made the assistant? Why didn't they make her the actual minister? You know, but hey, it's all politics. So unfortunately, in 2011, she passed away at the age of 71 after battling ovarian cancer.
You cannot enslave a mind that knows itself, that values itself, that understands itself.
I decided to feature this woman because she's a legend. She has paved the way for so many of us women. If she had to go through all that just for her to be heard, these days you can be heard from anywhere, especially because of social media. Please take advantage of that. Looking down, she'll be very proud of us women if we can stand up for what we know is right and challenge the authority if they are doing wrong. And you know, going by her story, a lot of times in different parts of Africa, we don't appreciate our heroes or our sheroes while they are alive until they die. You know, that was just like the story of Fela Anikulapo Kuti, although the international community celebrated her. But today I like to join in celebrating this woman. We need more people like Maathai that will care about the environment as well as fight for justice. You guys don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Okay, I could not believe that on International Women's Day, Gungun, as in while the whole world was celebrating women, that a member of the House of Representatives in Nigeria said this.
It's good to give a woman opportunity, but not too much.
Hey!
We do good to them, but we should not give them too much opportunity.
Lord, please don't be upset.
They take care of our life, they take care of our children, they take care of everything. They cook for us, they did everything for us.
So he knows all that.
Most of the women, they are very intelligent.
Oh, okay, so what is the problem with women being intelligent?
If we give them more chance, one day they will overthrow us.
They will overthrow Kenny. What are they overthrowing? We are not trying to overthrow anybody. All we are asking for is to be seen and treated as equal human beings, because we are. I'm addressing this because this man is not the only one with this mentality. Some people say that he was only joking. I know the man can be funny sometimes, but in this case, he's saying what he believes. And I don't think that it's funny. People like this man is the reason why Nigerian women still don't have a say in the politics of their country, even though we are half of the population. And that is not right. Don't you think that something is wrong when more than half of the people in the room have no say in what goes on in the room? The decisions being made by men in politics are affecting women and their children the most. Since 1960, when Nigeria became independent, Nigerian men have been the ones running the show. And look at where we are today. Yet they say that women cannot get it right without giving them the chance.
They will come here one day, you will find all these women in this chamber, and they will mess up. They will mess mess up.
This idea that women will mess up without even giving us the chance makes no sense. It makes no sense. We've never had a female governor in Nigeria, not to talk about female president. This is a country of 180 million people. Only 7 are women out of 109 members of the House of Representatives. They say that women are corrupt, and then they name a few people like Madueke as well as Stella Odua. They don't mention ministers like Akunyili as if she never existed. They forget that with every one woman that they name as corrupt, that we can also name 500 men that are even more corrupt. In Nigeria, a woman is hardly president of any organization, even in some churches. No offense, my Christian followers. They will say choir master, a woman will be secretary. I'm just saying. Except secretary. They like to dash your secretary. Do you know that more than 70 countries have had female presidents or prime minister? Denmark, Canada, Australia, Norway, Pakistan, Israel, Argentina, Germany, South Korea, Philippines, just to name a few countries, including African countries like Namibia, Malawi, Mali, Mozambique, Central African Republic. Some people were only there for a few months. I know that, but at least they were there. I think the problem lies with us women though, because we don't know the power that we have.
Majority of the voters, they are women. I was voted, I came here with almost 60% to 70% of my vote is for women.
70% of the people that made him who he is today are women.
If women understand this thing well, they will vote us out.
It's very sad that men know the power that we have and we don't know the power that we have. That is why we complain. We complain a lot about the decisions made by politicians, but we don't get involved. Or we get involved from the back. We don't want to be in the forefront. And this is why I've been saying it for a long time, that Nigerian women, you need to get involved in the politics of your country. Now, as usual, some men will try to use religion to put you down. You need to be prepared for that.
We are not controlling them. That is why God says they should come under us. They will marry them, they will serve under us. Let them stay under our control.
Baba. Please do not. People say a lot of things in your name. Please, no vex. You see what I'm saying? Now, I cannot address that one on this episode. We don't have time. This mentality that a man is supposed to reign over a woman, you hear it even among Christians and Muslims. You know, they will always find a Bible verse or Quran verse to justify putting one gender down because they benefit from it. And you know, a lot of women have also bought into that idea. Please, my sisters, next time they quote a Bible verse for you, tell them that Galatians 3:28 says that there is no longer Jew nor Gentile, slave or free, male or female, for in Christ you are one. So from a Christian point of view, maybe somebody that is Muslim can help me with a Muslim verse. As far as God is concerned, you are equal. You don't get any favoritism from God because you are male. By the way, this is not about Western culture or Egbekin law culture. This is about understanding that a human being is a human being regardless of gender. A woman is not created to be under a man. Neither is a man created to be under a woman. They were made to be helpmates. They're supposed to be best friends. They're supposed to be each other's confidant. Her opinion should be equally as important as his opinion. So if you have daughters, please don't let anyone look down on them or look down on you that you don't have a boy. Don't even entertain those people because they are ignorant. Shut them off as soon as they start saying that. Shut them off. Some people will come and say they want to pray for you. They will say, they will pray for you, that baby will be a boy. Tell them, I will take whatever God gives me because I know whatever God gives me will be great. Amen, somebody. You don't even want to get me started. Whether your child is male or female is not important, my people. The important thing is the kind of life that your child lives. Your gender does not determine whether you will be successful or whether you will impact lives. Those people are ignorant, and they're enemies of progress. It is your job to train your daughters with the knowledge that there is nothing that they cannot do. A lot of people still don't know that it is the man that determines the gender of the baby. And please, you don't have to have children that you cannot take care of just because you are looking for a boy. Forget about family names. Now that we go chop, what do people do with this family name thing that they talk about? Arole, what does that mean? Don't you know that some women even keep their father's name? There are cultures even in Nigeria where the woman keeps her father's name. This is even an age where some people will change their names. I'm talking about men now. They will say, oh, I don't want Orisha in my name. So the name is not what is important, my people. If God has blessed you with beautiful daughters, you know, this thing, I'm very passionate about it. We can't talk about it today. We can't handle it. You better take good care of them. Send them to the best schools. Invest in them. These girls will be great. Me, I am who I am today because my father told me I can be whatever I want to be, and I believed him. Case closed. I don't care who tells me I can't do it. My father told me I can do it, and I believe him. Hey, amen, somebody. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Moving on to Uganda. So the president said on International Women's Day that men should stop beating their wives, that if you want to fight, go and find a man like yourself to beat up.
President Yoweri Museveni condemned men who beat their wives.
Why do you beat women? Why don't you, if you want to fight, why don't you look for fellow men and you fight?
Father, I am so happy to hear that Museveni will say something like this. But can you believe how one MP reacted?
As a man, you need to discipline your wife. You need to, touch her a bit and you tackle her and you beat her somehow, to really streamline her.
Hey, Baba, can you imagine? Some people have no shit. There is so much to say about this, but there is no time. You think that was how his father was beating his mother when he was growing up? I pity his wife. What I love though is the fact that the whole country went after this man. Unlike our own women in Nigeria that were laughing on the floor when a member of the House of Representatives was saying that they shouldn't give women opportunity. Ugandans demanded for an apology.
We advise the honorable member to issue an apology as a matter of urgency.
Just imagine the mothers that voted for him, or even his wife. That is the shame and embarrassment he has put his family into.
Do you know that this man swallowed his pride and apologized?
Kindly accept my sincere and unreserved apologies, honorable members, and the general public, and more particularly the women.
So then he tried to change what he said.
The beating I meant wasn't the normal beating, but another type.
Why are you even troubling yourself? This man.
Using the word beating, whether it's in the sexual connotation he was trying to use, still belittles women.
We don't really encourage any form of beating to women or to the girl child.
Thank you, Jari. These are real women. Next time, no man will go on TV in Uganda and say that it's okay to beat your wife. Do you know that there are some Nigerian men that are justifying what this man said on Facebook? And it's because no one has challenged him, no one has forced him to apologize. If he had to apologize, they will stop defending him on Facebook. But again, you guys, I don't know anything. What's the smell? Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. So before I leave, there's a church in Brooklyn, New York that is doing amazing things here in the US as well as back home in Nigeria. I'm talking about Christ Life Ministries Church in Brooklyn, New York. So I found out that they've built a primary school and a secondary school in Adamawa, and you know the best part of this is the fact that these schools are free. They're providing free education to about 300 students. I spoke with the pastor, by the way. His name is Bishop Julius Adeola. He was telling me that there is no other school or hospital in the nearest 7 villages to that village where they started the school. He said that some of their students walk about 7 miles to get to school. They give these students free school uniform and free sandals. Now they are building a primary healthcare center, a small clinic in a village called Kotole that is also in Adamawa State. Now I've never been to this church in Brooklyn because you know Brooklyn is their headquarters, but besides the work that they're doing in Nigeria, I heard that they also help immigrants that just moved to the US. They help them to settle down. So if you just moved to the US and you happen to be in the New York area and you're trying to settle down or you have questions, they can help you. They can help you. I heard that they support and they guide new immigrants on getting good education so that they can have better opportunities when they settle down. So they also have a branch in New Jersey, Maryland, and other places as well. And this is their website if you have any questions. So they are celebrating their 24th anniversary. 24th! And because of that, they are holding a convention from April 4th to April 8th here in New York. And they have so many pastors that are coming to preach. But for all the music lovers, Saturday the 7th of April is the concert day. And guess who is coming? Nathaniel Bussey. Yes, he will be there live and direct. You do not want to miss this. Not just him, by the way, let me not do a joro. There are other people that are coming as well. So they asked your girl to be the MC on Saturday, the concert, you know. I said I would think about it. I'm just kidding. So I will be there live and direct. Yes, me and Colin Dowo. Yes, we're going to Brooklyn. So if you're living in the New York area, come on out on April 7th. It would be nice to meet you guys. So this is the address of the church and the phone number. You can call them. These are the buses and the trains that can get you there. If you have any question on getting there, please call them. They will tell you how to get there. 5 to 9 p.m. Now, if I'm doing the MC, we're starting at 5 o'clock. There is no African time and we are finishing exactly 9. Anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys. You guys don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. So before I sign out, if you're from Ghana or Tanzania or Kenya or Uganda and you're yet to sign up with Wave Money Transfer, what are you waiting for? If you're living in the US or Canada or other Western countries and you want to send money home, I've been telling you guys now for months, this is the easiest way of sending money to your loved ones. You send the money on your cell phone and they get it immediately. All you have to do is use my name as the promo code Adeola and they will give you $5 extra when you are signing up to send to your loved ones. Who would want to pass up $5 now? Don't worry, my Nigerian people. The next time you hear my announcement about Wave, it will be that they have launched in Nigeria. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Alright, y'all, it's been real and I'm keeping it real right up in here. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're yet to. Until next week, I'm gonna see y'all later. Peace out.